Bo, 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 bo. Welcome back. Welcome back to the channel, guys. It is your boy, the host. Back and just with another video. I know it's been a while, man. It's been a minute. Been busy. You know what I'm saying? Moved out here, Texas. You know what I'm saying? Been working, getting back in school and stuff like that. So, want to first give an apology to my audience. I haven't been hitting you guys with some content, but I wanted to make sure that when I posted a new video, that I was actually able to give y'all some grounding content. You know what I'm saying? Like something that you guys can take from my experience and apply what you can, and whatever you can, let it fly. You know what I'm saying? I stopped making content for a little while because I was kept running into this wall. I kept running into a wall of, okay, I post this, I post that, post this, I post that. And I haven't, if I'm being honest, been able to make any long form content. And I think the reason why I haven't been able to make any long form content is because I've been dealing with a lot of life situations. You know what I'm saying? I moved 1,000 miles from my hometown, you know, get my internal clock together, you know, get used to waking up at certain times again, you know, getting back into the workforce instead of working for myself like I was when I was back in Maryland, you know, started my life over brick by brick, you know, and when my mom passed, it took a toll on me. You know, I put on some weight, put on 20 pounds. So I've been back at it. I've been back in the gym, you know, working out, you know, I'm locked back in. And I just wanted to make this video to let you guys know, man, like, it's okay to start over, dog. You know, I came out here under the impression, like, damn, dog, you know, I'm starting over. I'm starting from square one, man. I'm not going to have nothing going on, and it's going to take forever. And I'll probably just end up being in the same spot. But little did I know, when I took that leap of faith, God was providing provision for me. You get what I'm saying? He's providing provision because every door in Maryland was closing. When I say every door in Maryland was closing, guys, every single door. There wasn't a single door that was staying open. You know, and I was trying my hardest. I was doing Uber full time. I quit my main job because they started playing with my hours, and I explained to them, like, hey, I ain't want to just up and quit. You know, I was like, let me put my 2 weeks in notice. You know, let me do the right thing. But they didn't do right by your boy. You feel me? And that's okay. This video isn't to slander nobody, but that's just to bring you into the reality of what happens when you make decisions like these, man. When you take that leap of faith, man, a lot of doors are going to close. When God tells you to move, he's not going to tell you, hey, I'm going to have this, this, and that for you. So it takes your faith for you to really be like, all right, I'm at ground zero here, and I know my God is able. So let me put my full faith into him. When I was back in Maryland, man, I couldn't open a bank account to save my life. Prepaid this, prepaid that. You know, got to constantly ask people, hey, do you take Cash App? Do you take this? Do you take this bank? Do you take this prepaid bank? And I got turned down a lot. I moved out here, same week, got a job. Took a while to start, but I got one. Opened up 2 brand new bank accounts. Well, 3 actually. Got a credit card, you know. And while things aren't moving as fast as I anticipated or expected them to move, they are moving in the right direction. And I'm saying that to say this, man, we have no control over the timeline. The only thing we control is our faith and our input. And this is so crucial to, you know, you staying locked in and staying resilient to life. Because there was moments, man, where I was going through it. I'm like, man, I'm here. I'm living with my folks. You know, I want to help. I can't help, you know. And not to say that me and my folks was getting into it, because we wasn't, but it was an internal battle. You get what I'm saying? It was one of those battles where I'm like, damn, dog, you know, I really changed as a person. I've grown as a human being, and not to prove my worth, because the only thing I got to prove my worth to is myself and God, but to actually see my worth. You get what I'm saying? And my fruit to my endeavors and seeing things pay off, you know? So I got to a point, where I started getting down. And then my mother's death, man, I was eating like shit. You know what I'm saying? A cookie, cakes. I ain't hit crumble though. It was tempting, but I was like, nah, 800 calories a cookie is crazy work. You know what I'm saying? I can't do that. But then I had to remind myself, dog, like, look what you've been through, man. If we was able to get over this, get over this, get over that, overcome this situation, overcome being homeless, overcome living in my car, right? Overcome losing jobs, having to walk away from friends that didn't really wasn't friendships, you feel me? Like losing so much and thinking that it's over. Cause that's how I feel. You know what I'm saying? When you lose a bunch of when life is just constantly kicking you in the dick, man. Life is constantly, you know what I'm saying? Combos, no break, no biscuit, no soda. You feel me? It feels hopeless. But in those moments, that's when you gotta dig deep and really be like, damn, dog, if I was able to overcome this, if I was able to overcome being in the streets, if I was able to overcome being homeless, this would be a cakewalk, you know? So you gotta remind yourself of who you are and who your God is, man. I can't speak for anybody else's God or who they believe in, but I'm a Christian man. You know what I'm saying? And not the Christians that you talk about. I ain't talking about the Pharisees and the people that use the Bible as a rhetoric to control and dictate people. I don't represent that. I don't even know. I don't even associate with those people. But I'm a Christian man in the sense of like, yo, I've seen God show up in my life at my worst times, in my darkest moments. So I know God to be real. You know what I'm saying? I've had spiritual encounters all throughout my life, and I'll start to make videos on that. If you guys want to put it down in the comment section, let me know. But I've been through some things, man. And I'm still young and I'm still pushing. I'm 30 years old, restarted my life. And a lot of people get to this age and they think it's over, brother. It's just getting started. 30, you're really just understanding who you are as a human being. And when you're young, you ain't man, I know who I am. Oh, you don't. You know an idea of what you're about, but you don't really understand who you are at a young age. Because to understand who you are means you got to accept the ugly things about yourself that you try to walk away from. I was a porn addict. You get what I'm saying? You feel me? I was still, getting play. But at the same time, you feel me? I'm watching another man's success. I was addicted to weed. You get what I'm saying? I'm selling shit to get weed. Like I said, when I get on these videos, man, y'all know I keep it a buck with y'all. Because at the end of the day, you feel me? I know what I endured in life to get where I'm at. And I'm not ashamed of it because I became a greater man as a result of it, Not prioritizing myself in the way that I should. You know what I'm saying? Having boundaries, but not being firm in them, And it's like when you get to this age, you're like, okay, now I know who I am and what I don't like, and I'm not willing to move that goalpost for nobody. When you get to that stage in life, you're not moving that goalpost, and just because you got to start over, whether you're in your 30s, your younger years, because some people had it worse than me, you feel me? That doesn't mean that life is over. If you still got a breath in your lungs, you got to thank the Lord, man. You woke up today. You know what I'm saying? I think I remember doing the math. I think about 275,000 people, 100,000 people die every day. Right? I think statistic, like for every breath that you take, somebody's dying. Or something similar like that. I'm gonna get the stats. I'm gonna put them in like another video or short or something. But it's like every day that you wake up and you got a life and you got an able body and you got the will to do, you have a shot to keep going in life, man. I know it gets hard, man. When I came out here, man, I was like, yo, this is gonna be another Maryland. Man, I'm already making moves. You know what I'm saying? Got certain businesses for the clothing line, you feel me? Like I already got some opportunities lined up. Putting shit in motion, doing little side hustles, you know what I'm saying? And that's okay. And it's supposed to take a while. I know I'm kind of going on a tangent a little bit. I just kind of wanted to give y'all a brief summary of what's been going on. But in theory, in short, but in short, what I'm saying is, man, when you get to a certain stage in life, it's okay to say, all right, I need to stop and do a hard reset. And when you really want something in life, I gotta get a, you feel me? Gotta get a gimbal. But when you really want something in life, man, and it's something worth value, expect it to take a while. When I put back on this 20 pounds, man, I thought I was going to shed this shit in a couple weeks. Now I realized the 50 pounds that it took me to drop the first time took me several months, dog. So it's like you got to enjoy that process, man. Enjoy the slow burn, the slow grind, because you're going to get there. When you try to rush it, quick little tidbit. When I first got in shape, I rushed through that thing. Multiple injuries. I had to stop working out for a little while. Yeah, I got shredded, but I couldn't maintain it because I didn't slow myself down and build a formula to stay in shape. I was looking good. I was looking good, but I couldn't maintain it. But now I know, okay, don't do this, don't do that, do this. You know what I'm saying? Check my calories, check the macros, make sure I'm getting the protein, make sure I'm writing down the lifts so I can track how strong I'm getting, what needs to be worked on, what needs more work, you know? Prioritizing rest. Things of that nature, man. So in short, with this video, man, make sure that you giving yourself grace to start over. And when you do start over and you truly striving for something, understand it could take a couple months. It might take a couple years. But that's okay as long as you're not wasting time. As long as you keeping God in what you're doing and you moving forward, you're not wasting time. Because guess what? As long as you're putting the inputs that you need to put in, it's in God's timing. You can be dedicated for 6 months, but you so locked in that 6 months, that 6 months of work could set your life off for the next several years. Or it might take 6 years. It's on God's timing, man. But you just got to stay resilient and you got to put in the work, man. You know, I'm not perfect. I'm still trying to knock this tobacco habit. I quit smoking cigarettes, you know. And to be honest with you, I quit these. But like I said, losing my mom, I'm in a new environment. You know, I had to find a coping mechanism. And what we do when we trying to cope with a situation, we typically go back to things that we ultimately know don't really benefit us. But I'm getting there and you getting there. I believe in you. God believes in you. But you got to show up. You got to dedicate yourself to whatever you're trying to get out there in life because it's obtainable. You know, I never thought in my years I'll be living in a pretty much a gated community, 6-figure houses everywhere. Nobody stealing nothing. Everybody got their own shit. Everybody at peace. I come from Baltimore, man. That ain't no shit like that, even in the good neighborhoods. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, it's out here, man. Life is out here. It's out here. And I'm encouraging anybody, whether you older than me, younger than me, man, get out there and live your life, man. You know, I'm pretty sure my folks wouldn't want me sitting around because both my people was gone. You feel me? They wouldn't want me sitting around wasting time thinking, well, what if I tried this? What if I do this? You know, I'm studying for the ASVAB right now. Ain't no time to waste. And it's not wasted time if you're willing to grind and put in the work. You gonna get there. You just gotta keep at it. You gotta keep at it. You feel me? Don't worry about the timeline. Just worry about the work. As long as you put in that work, you won't get where you need to go. So I missed y'all, man. I hope y'all having a blessed day. I hope y'all year has been phenomenal. And even if it ain't been a great year, man, just keep putting in the work and you're gonna see the fruits of your labor, man. It's your boy Ozzy, man. I'm checking out. I'm finna get back on this court, show some hoops. Love y'all, man. Stay blessed.